Welcome to this episode of SlimeWire.
There's only 3 episodes. There's only
Okay,
been 3 episodes.
All right, 4. We're on episode 4 of SlimeWire. I am Dr. Sanders.
Captain Goyle.
And I'm Mr. Ham.
Yep, we're bringing back Mr. Ham again for this week's episode.
All right.
So we couldn't get Chase the Base or Giant Decimator on this week.
Yeah, just 3 of us this time.
Yeah, but
Almost.
we have a very interesting topic today. That it's a genre of game that we are all very much into, and that is the RPG, the glorious RPG.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're gonna talk about some of the games that got us into it, because Chase is not really into RPGs, and Johnny.
There's Johnny really. No, because they have ADD.
Yeah, Chase plays like Chrono Trigger for like 2 seconds. He's like, "Where do I go?" I'm like, "Go downstairs."
All right.
Pretty much.
I can buy that.
When it comes to RPGs, kinda. He likes big oil muscle men in his RPGs.
Yeah,
he likes big old muscle men in general.
He will
like he unironically loves Fist of the North Star.
Which
I can only enjoy as a self-parody, which is ridiculous.
Well, people like barbarian stuff, It's kind of cool.
Come on, Fist of the North Star's awesome. I don't even care.
Fist of the North Star is awesome.
You can't like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and not like Fist of the North Star. That's what I say.
The only way I can enjoy Fist of the North Star, like I said, is if I don't actually take it seriously. Because the moment I start to take it seriously, it's fucking ridiculous.
All right, well, let's not talk about Johnny's.
Made to be made seriously.
Let's not talk about Johnny's orientation here. Let's just talk about the first RPG that got us into it. And it's kind of funny because we all sort of have the same story of the game that got us into RPGs, and that is
Pokemon.
Yeah. So which one, red or blue? Are we on team red, team blue?
Red.
Red all the way.
Hell fucking yeah.
I had red too. So, okay, what was your first ever Pokemon in life? Who did you choose?
Charmander.
Fuck you. Squirtle. Squirtle is the best.
Thing was, my brother had blue, which is funny because I lost my copy like 100 years ago, and I have his copy now, which is my Pokemon copy. So I don't actually have red anymore. But he's like, oh yeah, my brother, I'm battling against him, so like I gotta choose like the fire type. My brother's like so uncool, he's got the water type.
Squirtle was the best. He turned into a turtle with cannons on him.
So? Charmander turns into a dragon.
Yeah, dragon. Dragons are awesome.
Yeah, guess who wins in that fight? Blastoise. Blastoise beats Charizard, no problem.
Well, isn't Charizard like way bigger than him?
Yeah.
No, he's not. They're about the same size.
I think that's one of the things where the continuity is not the same. Because sometimes there's giant Charizards. In Pokemon.
No, Charizards have never been, like, enormous. They were always kind of, like, big, but they weren't, like...
You know what is enormous?
We're going there? Is it kind of early for that?
Baby.
let's save it until later.
We don't need any more penis puns, okay?
Oh, come on.
This isn't After Dark.
Slime TV After Dark, baby.
So,
well, wait, hold on.
Speaking of red version.
I have the perfect little bit of music.
Shut up, Abraham.
Look, if we're going to go after dark, we need the right music to it, don't we?
No one's gonna hear the music.
Well, that's not important.
Yes, it is.
The only thing that's important
is the
song.
Topic.
The only thing that's important is the title. The motherfucking song is called Triple Explosion. With 3 axes. That's all you need to know.
Alright, okay. Let's get back on topic.
Okay. Alright, so yeah, let's talk about Pokemon. What did you guys think when you first played Pokemon? I was so used to, like, Sonic.
I loved the shit out of that game. That was my obsession.
I was exposed through Pokemon through the weirdest way. It was some TV ad about this, like, little Pikachu Tamagotchi thing. And I saw this ad, I was like, holy shit, this is the greatest thing in the world. And then I began to voraciously consume Pokemon things like the consumer whore I am today.
Speaking of red version, the only Pokemon game that I ever actually caught all the Pokemon that were in the game. And I always found that to be completely unsatisfying.
I never even kind of got close to doing that. I had like 6 Pokemon.
All you get is like a thing that says you caught all the Pokemon.
Yeah, that's it.
Does it say congratulation?
I'm pretty sure it's spelled right, but it's the same effect.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I know, it's the most underwhelming thing ever.
Yes. You catch all the Pokemon, feel like a badass. You go to the doctor and he gives you a pat on the back. Goes, good job.
You don't even get like an item or anything?
Nope.
Well, you get a piece of paper that says you got all the Pokemon. Good for you.
That
Yeah.
is such a waste of time.
I know.
You know,
Wow.
I once actually tried to catch all the Pokemon. This was way into the genre. This was during like Ruby, Sapphire, all that bullshit.
Oh,
Here's the
yeah.
thing: I got within 10 Pokemon. Only 3 of them I need to trade. The rest were just needed to evolve from shit I already caught, right?
Yeah.
And so there's at this point there's at least 250 of them, right, or some shit like that.
Something near that range.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm almost done with this thing. At some point, I go visit some family out of state, and one of my shit's little cousins decides he wants to borrow a Pokemon game. I tell him, first of all, you're retarded. Why the hell are you borrowing a game I'm not gonna let you save on? But whatever, don't motherfucking save on it. And you know what he did?
He saved on it.
Not only did he save on it, he busted the game. It literally would not start after the first time that I found out he restarted it. Yes, I was upset to say the least.
Which one is that?
I spent at least 100 hours.
Yeah, it was Ruby.
With that shit.
Oh my god, I spent at least that much on every Pokemon game.
The thing is, I only ever, I don't think I ever had. No, I guess I did have a few more Pokemon games after after Generation 1. But I don't have any of them anymore. Somehow I ended up losing. I think I had Emerald or something like that eventually, but I don't have it anymore.
Yeah, the only one I have.
I've also lost my
newest.
Pokemon games. Wait, no, I still have you all somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Why does everybody have the Game Boy, the original Game Boy ones? Everybody has that one, but everybody's like, yeah, I play the other ones, but I don't have them anymore.
I remember we found a copy of Silver in your apartment once that didn't work.
Holy
Yeah,
shit!
That's
right.
That's the problem with those is that the batteries died on those.
Yeah, I gotta replace that.
Yeah, second generation, great generation or the greatest generation?
I think it's the greatest.
Yeah,
I agree.
a lot of people agree to that. That's pretty common consensus that Gold and Silver are some of the best. I mean, it makes sense. That's why they remade those.
Yeah.
Well, Generation 3 and 4 Pokemon, they got so derpy, so fast. They're inside of Generation 2, they were still kind of creative and.
Okay, you should look at the Generation 5.
Oh really?
Yeah, some of those things are derptacular.
Wait, which generation has the balloon?
That's 4 or something. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
That from...
It's the one that's got Palkia and Dialga.
Oh, that's from Diamond and Pearl. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually didn't play those actual games, but I played this really cool ROM hack called Ruby Destiny. Go get it. That has all the Pokemon up to that generation, including a terrible fake Pokemon at the end. It's literally a Photoshop of Dragonair. But that part's not important. It's only funny as a side note. This allowed me to take a look at every single motherfucking Pokemon in that generation, and this is what I found out. I like 2 of them. That's it. That's a short list of Pokemon I like there. One I like because it's a motherfucking monkey that knows Muay Thai and is on fire. That's badass.
Oh, Infernape?
Yes.
Yeah, that guy was cool. That's the one I chose. That's the one I chose too.
Hell yeah. And then there's this electric squirrel thing, which is incidentally the only electric Pokemon I've ever liked.
Dude, I always liked the bear one, Ursa Bear from Generation.
Yeah.
I think
Generation
2. I like
yes.
That guy. But
like
Scyther is the
bear.
best Pokemon ever. That's my favorite Pokemon.
Which one?
Scyther.
I think Scyther's cool, but you know who's
Scyther
cool?
and Scissors.
Scizor. That's
Scizor.
Yeah, Scizor, what the fuck? How are we saying his name?
Scizor.
Dude, Scizor would be on he'd be my front Pokemon. I'd be like, fuck this starter Pokemon. Bringing Scizor out front. That dude he had super high attack and he had pretty high defense.
Well, that's one of the main problems I kind of have with Pokemon is see, I never, when I was a kid, I didn't really complete any of the Pokemon games, but I did, obviously later, I just kind of went back and just beat it, but
yeah.
The problem I had was that as a kid, I mean, I kind of have ADD as an adult, and as a kid, I kind of had the same problem of where, there were just so many Pokemon, I would go to, an area and I would want to catch, all the Pokemon, but it would take me, too long, so I would, go ahead and then be oh, those Pokemon I want, but I have to level it, and I got so bored with it so fast. You guys ever had that problem? Where
yes.
you just
Nope.
Yes, God, yes.
Not for me, really. I always had a good time playing them from beginning to end. After I beat the Elite Four, that is when I pretty much lost interest. Usually.
Of course.
Of course, because then because then your only motivation is completion. And once you find out that what the completion benefit is, unless you want it for its own sake, you have no motivation to do it.
Well, see, with Diamond and Pearl, like I played Diamond and Pearl quite a bit because that came out when I was in high school, and I had another friend who was in high school, and he was playing it too. So we would do all that like multiplayer stuff, like you'd go in like that underground area and like you could do all that stuff. Like so we did all that, and we had battles, So I played a lot of Endgame on Diamond and Pearl. I remember.
Huh.
So I remember you could do this trick where like. You could take like red version or something, and get like in a bunch of Master Balls.
Yeah.
And there was a way to like get Pokemon from the other games into like Diamond and Pearl. Once you get the full Pokedex, where you get like every single Pokemon, so you could just have a Pokemon hold a Master Ball, and then you put them in the Pokemon Park, and you can just get like a ton of Master Balls just by catching those Pokemon. And that's how I got most of the legendary Pokemon in Diamond and Pearl. I caught all the legendary Pokemon that way.
I always remember that. Remember that stupid link cable?
Yes.
Like, oh, dude, me and my brother.
That one kid had.
Yeah,
Yes.
I had obviously I had two brothers, and all three of us had Game Boys. So my brother Brandon had this Pokemon Game Boy. I had a red Game Boy, and Ryan had like a purple one, like see-through purple one. And but like, do you guys like? I saw gameplay footage, and it totally made me remember how terrible that thing works.
Yes.
Like the delay between hitting like attack and it showing up on the other person's screen so you could do it again, it would like take forever.
Yes.
God, I was amazed. I remember that being like so fast, but then I saw it again. I was like, wow, that's really how fast that thing was. It's like it only take like 7 minutes to get through like one Pokemon.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're
people
really
really
doing
bought that
anything.
to get the Pokemon that you could only get through evolution trade.
Yeah.
I think it was 3. It was Haunter to Gengar, Machop to Machoke, and I think it was Graveler to Golem. I think were the 3. I don't know if there was another.
Those exactly the ones. Incidentally, Gengar, awesome.
Yeah, Gengar, Haunter. I like Haunter better than Gengar, but obviously Gengar's a better Pokemon.
Yes.
Haunter was a cool Pokemon.
You guys ever seen the creepypasta of the ghosts, the Pokemon Black?
I don't.
Before Pokemon Black was like a actual
before that's
game.
actually a game now.
Yeah.
Black
Yeah.
and white.
I don't think I've seen that, but I've read a lot of Pokemon-related things, especially with the Ghost Tower and shit.
Yeah, that's exactly
Have
what
you
it
guys-
relates to.
You guys read the one that's like about the animated series where it's like all Ash's adventures are like in his mind. He's like going like
Yeah.
psychosis or
shit.
whatever. That's a
Yeah.
good one. That
Yeah,
one's
that's a good
pretty
one.
good.
Yes, it
Like-
is.
But yeah, let's talk about some.
Depressing.
Let's talk about where you guys kind of went after RPGs. After Pokemon or whenever you got into it. I remember like the next thing that I really got into was obviously because we're in America was Final Fantasy VII. Like-
Yes.
Same here.
Because
See,
that game
I
is
got
just
into
explosion.
I got into Final Fantasy way later though. The first Final Fantasy I ever played was 10, and it wasn't even new when I played it. Like it was old by then.
Ooh.
So I went into. I like Final Fantasy 10. I still like Final
I'm
Fantasy 10.
not saying it's a bad game. I'm just saying that's
Yeah, I mean, I got into it late in, like the timeline of it, I guess. But I played 7 right after I played 10, and that was it
Yeah.
from there. I was like, I gotta play every Final Fantasy I can now.
I got into 7, and then like as I got into 7, then 8 and 9, and all of them came out after that. But during that time when I was waiting for like say 9 to come out, my brother ended up getting Dawn of Souls, which is 1 and 2, and I think we rented. No, we bought the Chrono. What is it called? The Final Fantasy compilation, where it comes like with Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy 4.
Oh yeah, I had that too.
Yeah, so like we ended up getting that, and like
I only wanted Chrono Trigger. I didn't really care that much about Final Fantasy 4 actually. When I was looking for that, I'm like, I just want to play Chrono Trigger. That was the first thing I played Chrono Trigger on, was that compilation.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like the version that when you go to the menu, it takes like 15 seconds to load the stupid menu.
Oh yeah, I totally remember that. It was just so annoying.
Ugh.
Totally remember that.
When you hit the button like by accident, it would still like it'd be like, oh, beep triangle. Oh. And it'd be like Sonic 06 load times, and then it'd be like menu.
God damn it. God.
The more I look at your logo, the more I want to redesign it myself.
Oh, the Slime TV one?
Yes. And it's mostly just a little slime dude.
You can do it again. We just started season 2, so.
I'll think about it.
Yeah, go for it if you have some time.
Yeah. But so I
have
actually,
some time.
Yeah, I remember the same thing of like where I just wanted to play Chrono Trigger. I think I saw a commercial or something like that for that compilation. I don't know, or some TV spot on it. But yeah, I was like, oh man, this looks so sick. And then way after I completed Chrono Trigger, I ended up playing Final Fantasy IV, and I got like super into that game.
See, I didn't get into it on the PlayStation. I didn't get into it until it came out on DS, like the remake. Then I got really into it.
Oh yeah, that's a great remake.
Yeah, that's one of the best, I think, Final Fantasy remakes.
Yeah,
They did a really excellent job with that one.
Some people say that they really don't like that though. They say it's like I don't like the way the 3D looks and it takes too long to get into battle and stuff. I'm like,
I disagree.
Yeah, I disagree too. It's
You
a
know?
cartridge still. It loads super fast.
Yeah, I mean, I like the 3D models. I think they did them well because they're still kind of chibi, you know.
Yeah.
They kind of remind me of the sprites a little bit, you know, just in 3D.
Oh, there actually was I watched a review. I'm not gonna say the YouTuber obviously, but like someone said did a review of Final Fantasy 3.
Yeah.
For they basically reviewed the NES translation. You know, you could buy it like on a reproduction card or something.
Yeah.
And he reviewed that and he said, "Oh, well, I like this version better than like the DS one because it's like, it doesn't take forever to get into battle, you know, because I don't have to like do all the camera angles and load, and I don't have like to do the touchscreen stuff." And I was thinking, like, did you even play this game, like the DS one? Because that version is way better than.
Yeah. Why don't you go play Skies of Arcadia and then complain to me about how long it takes to get into a battle?
Oh my god.
Or like Legend of Dragoon or something.
Oh, Legend of Dragoon. Yeah, or Final Fantasy 9 in the beginning battles, because like.
Go play those and then come back to me.
Seriously.
Say that.
Yeah. But I just couldn't believe the guy was complaining about that. I was like, well, this actually adds a story.
I don't know how you complain about the touchscreen stuff. That seems really stupid.
Well, you don't have to do it.
Yeah, you don't.
Like,
you can use the buttons to go through the menus.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just a little. It's like, oh
yeah,
man.
I don't know. It's probably just somebody being like, "Oh, I like the old one better, so that makes me cool."
Well, yeah, that's kind of what his channel is about, and yeah, a little rage worthy though. What about you, Abraham?
I actually had a fun experience with RPGs immediately post Pokemon. See, I sort of dropped out of RPGs for years. Now, I blame this mostly on me getting an N64.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got an N64 for some reason. So I sort of dropped out of the RPG scene until I turned 12. And when I turned 12, Kingdom Hearts happened.
Oh. Yeah.
So I played Kingdom Hearts.
I was mad hyped for that game.
You know, that actually could have gotten very weird. I had a choice around the time I was turning 12. It was like, alright, I can get me a GameCube and play like Sonic or whatever the fuck it is I wanted to play on the GameCube, or I can get a PlayStation, play Kingdom Hearts, or I can wait a week and I can get both. I was like, fuck it, I ain't waiting.
I can't wait a week.
Yes, that was exactly what it was like. In hindsight, a poor decision, but whatever. Yes, I dropped out until about Kingdom Hearts, and then I started to get really into RPGs. I got a crap out of RPGs for the PlayStation.
Oh, of course.
See, I didn't start really getting on RPGs. I think till like the PlayStation 2, kinda. Of course, I played like Final Fantasy 7, and I played 8 also on PlayStation 1. But PlayStation 2 is where like my RPG ness exploded. Really, I'm trying to think of
funny.
like other PlayStation 1 RPGs that I played. I can't think of many that I played back in the day, but I can think of a lot more that I've started playing now, you know?
Yeah.
Well, was like way into those games right when they were kind of coming out and stuff. Like PS1.
It makes you sound like a hipster.
Yeah, I know. I was like doing it before it was like popular, but just because I like Final Fantasy 7, and then when I started playing Final Fantasy 8, and I probably got into that game more than I got in Final Fantasy 7, because I got supremely into that story in that game. And obviously, if anyone knows, like Final Fantasy IX is like my second favorite game of all time. But I think the PlayStation just edges out a little bit more on than my favorite, the Sega Genesis over my favorite console. Just because I played like Xenogears, I played Legend of Legaia, I played all the Final Fantasies, I played Chrono Cross, I was so into that. And then when I got to the PS2, I actually kind of would stop playing RPGs for a little bit.
There's so many good PS2. I feel is like some of the. Well, I mean the PS1 does have like all the classics, but there's a lot of good stuff on the PS2.
It's largely because the PS2 had such great third-party support. It has
I mean,
fucking fantastic third-party support, so it's got so many good games.
Yeah, there's so many RPGs on there that I
feel
like don't get talked about a lot.
Actually, no, it's not that it's got a lot of good games. You just see that it's got a fuck ton of games.
Yeah,
so
I think that has like the biggest library. I don't think
Yes,
that's more than PS2.
Yes, and precisely because it's got such a fuck huge library.
You're talking about the Atari 2600.
It's bound to have some good games, and the more games it has, the more good games it's bound to have. Unless you're developing for Nintendo.
Yeah, that's really true.
One game I want to talk about on PS1, though, I guess I would consider an RPG that this is probably the one RPG on PlayStation 1 I got super into, and that was Monster Rancher. Did you guys ever play that?
I played Monster Rancher 2.
Did you play
something.
Did you play the first one though?
No.
No, I think I rented like a Monster Rancher game, but I never got into it really.
I didn't even know which one I played. I just know it was on PlayStation 2, and I put in DVDs and CDs and shit to get Monster.
Yeah, okay.
That was badass.
Like that's what that game was. Is like I remember I got the first one, and that's like my parents had a huge CD collection. They just had like drawers and drawers of CDs, so it was like a gold mine for me. I would just play that game for hours, just putting in millions of CDs, just like trying to get all these monsters, trying to get like the coolest guy.
I had the same thing with my grandpa, and in this crazy like Mexican folk music CD thing he had, I got like an Earth Dragon, which was the shit in whatever game I was playing, and I never found another CD that had something that cool in it.
You know what always confused me about Monster Rancher?
What?
Is the fucking robot monsters. They're robots!
I hated that like half the CDs had mochis in it and like blue tigers.
No, I liked the blue tigers. Blue tigers were cool. Mochis.
Yes, they're cool. It's just that after the first one you've gotten, it's useless.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like Failing Minds would probably give you a Blue Eyes White Dragon in that game, right?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I pretty much played every Monster Rancher until the PS2. Like the first game I ever got for PS2 was the Monster Ranchers. That was like a launch title, I think. I don't think it had a number. I think it had like a title, and that was kind of like the last Monster Rancher I played.
I don't even remember the first game I got for PS2.
I just remember that because I hooked it up, and I was like 2 inches away from the screen, and that's all I did that day.
Yeah, well, I just remember when the PS2 came out, like, they did kind of continue some of the RPG franchises on there. Like instead of Xenogears, you had Xenosaga, which I love that series. And then they had, obviously they continued Final Fantasy on there and ruined the series. And then
yeah, it's highly debatable.
I knew you said. But yeah, I actually remember remember those spots that G4 TV used to have on Final Fantasy X?
Yeah.
Like they just used to show cutscenes of Final Fantasy X.
That's how I got into Final Fantasy X, literally.
I used to, and then when I just basically watched my brother play that game. And like I was so blown away by the game. I looked so amazing. It still actually holds up really well today. Maybe not the best looking game, but I mean, man, that game really holds up.
I agree. Yeah.
Cutscenes too, obviously.
Yeah. You know what I think would be a good topic? What RPGs have we played lately? Although, just don't ask me, because I was just playing, strictly speaking, not safe for work RPGs.
Ah, I see.
I want to talk about that, but I want to talk about some more PS2 stuff.
All right, I'm game.
Just mostly because Disgaea I remember that was
Oh yeah.
that was the first strategy RPG I ever played, and I fucking just fell in love with that genre
Oh, I know.
after that game.
I actually started with Disgaea 2, and then looked
I'm
everywhere
sorry.
for Disgaea
I'm really
1.
sorry. I feel bad for you. You had to start with the worst one.
I started
I
with Final Fantasy
disagree. I think
Tactics.
Disgaea 2 is pretty good. They improved a lot over Disgaea 1, and Adele's fantastic.
No, I hate Adele. I think he's the worst main character out of all of them.
What? Adele's awesome. Mind
No.
you, he's not as awesome as, say, Velvet Torres.
Valvatorez is the best since Laharo.
I have to agree with
Really.
that.
It's so hard for me. I don't want to say it's better than 1, because I love 1 just so much. But, like, 4 did everything I wanted from those. I was disappointed by
looks
2
good.
and 3, and 4 blew me away. Like, 4 was what I wanted
plays great.
from the
It looks great. The protagonist is voiced by Action Bastard, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, I liked a lot of the supporting cast. Like, Desco. Desco became, like, one of my favorite, like, Disgaea characters. I love that
Yeah.
final...
I like the penguins.
The Prinnies.
Of course,
I know,
everyone
just
Who doesn't like the
Yeah.
Prinnies?
They're
I know.
fucking
It's like a slime.
They're fucking exploding murderers, man. What's not to like?
Dude.
Yeah. Yep.
Dude!
And of course, they make little cameos in every other Nippon Ichi game ever.
Yeah, it's true.
Did you guys play, well, you don't have a PSP, so you didn't play,
I actually did.
You played those Prinny games?
I played 2 of them. I don't know if there's been more, but I remember.
No, there's only been 2.
All right, yes, I remember them being brick-chewingly frustrating.
Oh my god, those games are brutally difficult.
Yes,
it's
they're
like
they're-
Ghosts and Goblins status.
Yes, it's definitely a roguelike game. Don't they give you like 1,000 lives?
It's not a roguelike. It's definitely not a roguelike. It's more like Ghosts and Goblins. It's like a platform.
I mean,
Ghost then.
it's roguelike in its level of difficulty.
Okay, I guess in a way you could say that. Like I played the first one and I gave up on that game. It's too hard. Like
I distinctly remember you getting some ludicrous amount of lives to burn through.
yeah, that game's still extremely difficult. Like,
Yes.
Like I couldn't finish it. It's just too hard. I gave up on that stuff.
Well, actually, you know what's funny is when after the PS1 and it made all the we switched the generations to PS2, GameCube, and Xbox.
Yeah.
Like I had a GameCube, my brother Brandon had a PS2, and then Ryan had an Xbox, of course. But
I'm aware of the Xbox.
I got so out of RPGs almost because of that, because there was like no good RPGs on the GameCube.
Yeah, I can't.
I'm trying really hard to think of one.
Tales of Symphonia. That's probably.
Oh, well, yeah, that was like later
Tales.
though.
Yes.
There's only been one Tales on the GameCube though. So.
Yeah, that game was good, but I got that. I mean, like, what year did that come out? That's like 3 years into the GameCube or something.
Probably.
Yeah,
Like,
but
I think-
come on, that's like the best RPG in the GameCube.
Well, easily, but I mean, I
That's the only
can't.
one I can think of off the top of my head.
The only,
Yeah,
the only
like,
other things I think of
I
are
have it
Bots
right
and
here. It
Titans.
looks like, oh fuck, Bot and Kai's. That game sucks dick.
Yeah, see, exactly.
Oh my god, I was so disappointed by that game. I was so hyped for that because it got delayed like a lot, and it looked really cool. Like the visuals looked really cool in that game.
Yeah, no.
Like, that card battle system was terrible. I hated it. So slow, so boring. The story was terrible. I hated it. I didn't really like the characters that much. Just, it looks nice.
Yeah, my favorite RPG
That's
for the
about it.
GameCube is Zelda.
Oh boy, here we go.
Because you build up your character.
If you want to
No,
count
but-
Zelda as an RPG, I'll let you.
That's actually pretty funny.
I don't.
Yeah,
I,
I know, right?
I don't.
People argue that. Like, I know it's like an action adventure game, but people do argue that it's like an RPG.
If you ever seriously argue that Zelda is an RPG, I need to visit your house and slap you with my dick across the
Oh, that's good. But yeah,
I think I
Yeah.
like for me personally, my golden age of RPGs was the PS2, just because like my favorite series of games is the Shin Megami Tensei,
oh yeah,
and that's where it got started here in America. Really, like that's where we got like kind of. Well, I mean, we got Persona 2, but I didn't know those games existed at the time, and so like Nocturne was the first taste of Shin Megami Tensei I got, and I just fell in love with that. I can't get enough of that series. I really
That
can't.
reminds me, I never beat Nocturne.
That's because Nocturne's hard as balls.
Yeah, I know. I tried playing that. You gave me that copy.
Oh
and
yeah, because I got an extra one.
I got like an hour into that, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, I actually remember why I stopped playing.
That game gets
the first
hard
time.
as balls.
Yes, it was a hard ass. It wasn't even a boss fight. It was just a random fight that kicked my ass like an hour and a half after I'd saved.
Oh my god,
Ooh.
that's like Shin Megami Tensei in a nutshell. Like you'll be going along exploring dungeon for 4 hours. You gain 20 levels. You meet one enemy that gets one lucky hit and knocks down your whole party, and you're dead. And you want to
Yeah.
your brains out. And that's all it takes. It's one tiny mistake, and your whole team will get fucked.
Yeah.
Hey, you know it was a weird game that like an RPG that I got into because my brother Ryan he got an NES. He got way into NES collecting like a few years ago. I mean, well now it's like obviously a number of years ago, but he had this NES and it barely worked as a toaster. So but he had a copy of Dragon Warriors 3. And
that sounds like the most awful generic RPG I can think of off the top. Like,
yeah, well,
I couldn't think of a more generic RPG name if I wanted to.
Yeah, well, that's the Dragon Quest series in America. Like they had Dragon Warrior all the way up to 7 on the PS1.
Wow.
And so he had a copy of 3, and I played that thing so much. I'm not sure how far I ever got in that game, but I remember just thinking like, oh, this is cool. It's like an RPG. And it's old. And I was like, okay, this is boring. I'm gonna play Final Fantasy.
First Dragon Quest I think I played was 7 because my friend had it on PS1.
Oh god, that game's like I love that game. Obviously, I have a copy of it. It's like super good condition. But man, that game is ridiculously long.
Yeah, it's gotta be one of the longest RPGs.
It's like just to complete like the main story, it's like well over like 100 hours. Ugh.
And isn't there like a shit ton of side quests and stuff?
Dude, there's so much. Dude, the minimum to like get near the end and actually be able to kill the boss is like 120 hours or something. And there's just so much more you can do.
That's just too much.
That's
going way. Okay, well, this guy you can beat the story in not that much time, really.
And then you can play it forever.
Yeah, that game goes on for infinity practically.
Well, the one thing that always kind of confused me about Dragon Warrior 7, I think it's either like 2 or 3 discs, right?
Yeah.
But
it's definitely more than one.
But it's like it looks so simple. It's like there's 2D.
Yeah, the graphics aren't that great.
2D sprites with like a 3D kind of field, like a map.
Yeah.
But when you go into battle, it's still like 2D Dragon Quest fighting like it always is. And I was always like, oh, well, that's weird that this game's on, multiple discs. And I was like, oh, well, it's just because there's so much stuff in this game.
Oh, did you guys ever play Dragon Quest Monsters on the Game Boy?
No.
Remember, sort of weird love-hate relationship with Dragon Quest. You see,
yeah.
the gameplay is not bad, but the games are almost too long for my taste, and I have this very special love-hate relationship with Toriyama.
Like a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Well, see, the
he doesn't
nice thing
ever
about
change
Monsters
the style.
is that it was like Pokemon, but with Dragon Quest monsters, basically. That's why. That's why I got into it so much.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. I was never.
So it's
I
like
didn't
Pokemon, but not weeaboo enough for you?
Well, it is pretty weeaboo, I guess.
It's pretty weeaboo.
It's Dragon Warrior Monsters. I mean, it's still Dragon Quest, Dragon Warrior. It was still called Dragon Warrior at the time because it's Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
But that game was a lot of fun. I got super into that. I mean, the monsters are pretty weird looking, but I liked that they followed you like on when you were walking around. Kind of like in Yellow where Pikachu follows you, but like your 3 monsters would follow you. So I liked that. That was cool.
Yeah, so that was the RPGs, those kind of RPGs were the ones that really got you into it. I say that the one that supremely, like, it just cemented, like, I was like, oh, I'm gonna play RPGs. Like, I get them now, it was Chrono Cross.
What a surprise! What a surprise.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It was just like,
Didn't see that
that
one
game
coming.
I know.
Didn't I see you beat that game in like 2 hours because you had the cheats on?
Yeah. Well, no, if you can do New Game Plus like infinitely forever. and you can always collect different parties, and there's always somebody like a new party member to collect, and there's also like there's an ending. I'm not even kidding. There's an ending you get after completing the game 5 times.
Wow.
Yeah, so they think that far ahead.
There is
But-
a short list of games I've beaten that many times.
Well,
Exactly.
see, it's because they added so many characters in that game.
I know it's
And
ridiculous.
You can't get them all in one playthrough.
No, you can't.
It's
Well, that's the
impossible.
thing. You can't even like you get the last secret after 5 playthroughs because You know
you
the-
have one chick in your party, right?
yeah, Harlequin. Because every time you play it, she'll leave. But if you beat it 5 times, then go all the way through the story, you get her. That's so crazy.
Speaking of
But-
long ass games, lots of characters. Did anybody else ever play Star Ocean?
Yeah.
Yes, I have the first one remake on PSP, and then I have Till the End of Time. Is that the third one?
I love Till
yeah.
the End of
yeah.
Time.
Till the End of Time is pretty good. I like that one too.
That was a huge game when it came out.
I actually really like the fourth one on PS3.
Yeah, I have that one.
That one's really good. I feel like that.
cool.
I feel like that game kind of got forgotten a little bit.
Plastic
What?
Armor.
Oh, shut up.
You're too picky.
Like, when did that game? That game was pretty. Well, I think it on the PS3 kind of got forgotten because I remember when it came out on the Xbox and it was like really advertised. You know?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I had. I only played the Xbox version. I want to get the PS3 version now.
Yeah, but like everybody complained about the voice acting, which I love. I love the voice acting in that game. I think it's so funny.
Most people.
Wait.
about the
Voice
one
acting
chick.
in RPGs. It's time to bring up, you know the one.
Which Chaos Wars.
Yes. Do you remember Chaos Wars?
Let's not even go there. Let's not even go there. I'd much rather talk about Star Ocean
Dude,
than
look,
fucking Chaos Wars.
dude, once he brought it up, we have to talk about that
Oh,
crap.
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Well, I actually
This-
have shit to say
Let me
about
do the.
Star Ocean.
Wait.
All I have to say about
Let me
Chaos
do-
Wars is it can go fuck itself.
dude, okay.
Let me do the honors, please.
Yeah.
All right. For those of you listening out
But
there who have the
how
pleasure
do
of.
we get that? Great acting. Wow. You
Sorry.
win the Oscar.
For those
But
of you out
how
there
do we get that?
who had the pleasure of not hearing about this game, this is a game that was made in collaboration between 3 strategy RPG studios because that
Not
could
actually
work
a
out
bad
so
game
great, right?
itself.
Yes, it's pretty solid, but here's a problem. For the American localization, the dude that put as the head of the project, instead of getting real voice actors, got his family. Got like 7 dudes, well, seven dudes and ladies to play a cast of 49 or some odd characters, which means you
Yeah.
frequently have people talking with themselves about themselves.
And it sounds like themselves.
That's
Yes.
a recipe for success right
It took
there.
me an entire
Get your
hour
family
of
to do
denial
it.
to realize how terrible and assy the voice acting is. If you have the time, go look it up. You won't be disappointed. It's the
No,
most
it's-
god-awful piece of tripe you've ever heard.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
it's pretty entertaining how bad it is.
Yeah, just search like Chaos Wars PS2. Like,
We used to just like fuck with each other all the time saying all those stupid lines.
but how do we get back? It feels like I am in another dimension.
Oh my god.
Like, oh my god, I remember when you bought that.
Hey,
like,
no. I think my favorite was what the fuck, the dude with the glasses. I don't do his voice very well. When he says he's leaving, I have to go now.
Oh yeah! I have to go now.
it's just-
Oh yeah. I remember
Dude,
that.
that was like the funniest. Like
Those
anyone
were like
wants.
the 2 best lines.
Disclaimer:
Yeah.
This is not hyperbole. This is what they actually sound like.
But
Yeah.
how do I get back? That's
the
literally
good-
how much emphasis he puts on that word.
Yeah, I
Ugh.
totally remember how blown away I was
Oh,
when you bought
the
that and put that in
crabs.
PS2.
Donnie, do you remember the crabs?
Yeah, what was that noise they made?
God, God, God.
Oh my god,
Oh yeah, I remember that shit.
it's so fucking funny. Like, oh my god.
Damn, that game has terrible. It's like
Ugh.
Animal World, almost as bad as Animal World Soccer.
I would say I would say in human form, like it's supremely close. Like it's bad. It's that bad in a different
Do you-
way.
Remember the Nurse Duck. Just remember the Nurse Duck, and then tell me that Animal World Soccer isn't the worst fucking shit in existence.
Chaos Wars is a masterpiece of
Ah,
voice acting.
yeah, ooh, ah, yeah, ooh.
Ee-oh, ee-oh.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
I almost wish
Fucking
it still had
stuff.
Chaos Force, if only because of how bad it is. It makes a great
Where is it?
conversation piece. I sold it.
Oh,
Which
suck.
I'll probably never see it again, but I'm hoping to get a copy sometime in the future
Yeah,
because
I'm
that
sure
makes
that
a great
game's like
conversation
once-
piece.
Ah, you jerk. I wanted to see it again. But yeah, so
I wouldn't
let's talk
play
about
that
Star
game.
Ocean.
I'm surprised I could sell it. Yeah, Star Ocean.
Yeah, Star Ocean.
Till the end of time, had one of my favorite Star Ocean characters. It's a dude with a robot hand who runs around wearing a long skirt.
Really?
Yes. If you recall, there's a dude in Star Ocean Till the end of time who runs around with a robot hand and a long skirt.
Yeah, I think I know which guy you're talking about.
I don't even remember his name. I just remember
Trying-
that in post game
remember.
he gets these crazy powerful attacks you can chain together to rape.
Nice. I don't remember that. I didn't really get that far in that game because it's so long.
I beat the whole motherfucking thing. Post game dungeons and everything.
Oh, by the way, if you want to buy Chaos Wars for the PS2, sealed, it's $17.
Nice.
Wow, sealed?
Yeah.
Damn. They are desperate.
Yeah. Well, I just like I really like Star Ocean 2 for the PS1, obviously PS1.
Yeah,
But like that game's pretty sick. I remember
Yeah.
just like that story kind of blew
that
me
game has
away.
a lot of characters in it.
Oh, it has a ton. It's well, you got pissed because you started playing it just like in last year, and you were
Well,
like,
yeah,
I
'cause
missed.
I have the PSP version.
Yeah, and you were like, I missed all these characters. I was like, yeah, that happens all the time. You were like, oh, I want to get everyone. I was like, you can't get everyone.
I want all the characters.
It's
Well,
so
at least I got the guy with the dragons on his shoulders, and that guy's cool, so I'm good with
yeah.
him.
I think all the Star Oceans have that thing where you can't get everyone. You fucking can't.
I'm pretty sure in Star
Yeah.
Ocean 3 and 4 you can, can't you?
No, I'm for
no,
sure in
3
3
no,
you
you
can
can't.
because you have to pick between like this little gypsy girl, some little raccoon dude with a giant ass axe, the aforementioned robot arm skirt dude, and some chick with tattoos.
I think in
Hmm.
4 you can get all the characters.
Really?
But-
Yeah, I
But
think
don't
so.
don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on that. I didn't beat 4, but I got pretty far in it. I just got stuck on this one boss and then I stopped playing it. But I think I had all the characters you could get up till that point. Except for you get that dude with the big scythe, and that guy's.
Oh yeah, that's so cool.
I love that because I love about Star Wars. You can play as any of the characters you want, you know. So I was like, as soon as I got the scythe dude, I'm gonna use him as my main guy and he kicks ass.
Yeah. Hey, you know what I think is kind of funny or kind of interesting about RPGs is that it seems like the console that supports them, or like that has a really good library of them, which is obviously good third party support and linked to it, is like always seems to kind of win the console wars, like, with the exception of obviously the Wii and stuff, because there's not really that many JRPGs around anymore on consoles.
Yeah.
So
It's a dying breed, unfortunately.
Hyperdimensional Neptunia.
yeah, dude, you see how expensive that game was? Like,
Yes.
So glad I got that NIS exclusive version. When it came
God.
out.
You know,
That's
I don't
worth,
know.
nuts.
That's worth double than what I paid for it now.
You know, here's a. I want to own that game. I don't want to play it. I just want to own it for the same reason that I own Death Miles.
What? This mouse is awesome.
I'm not saying I don't like to play Death Miles. It's just for the most part,
Honestly,
shoot 'em up / bullet hells aren't my thing.
I
I mostly
played
own
Death
it because I'm
Miles-
that much creepier for owning it. I own it for the same reason that I own the extra naughty edition of what's it called, Record of Agris Wars, because it came with the motherfucking pillowcase with some anime chick and a mouse pad with tits.
I have 2 pillowcases. I have the one from Catherine, and I have the one from a shmup that I think went under a lot of people's radars on the Xbox. That is Automatus Excellent.
oh, dude, Play Lives. Shout out to Play Lives. Jeff Play Lives. He has that. He did unboxing.
I enjoyed the fuck out of this game. Cause it's like Gradius with like little anime girls, pretty much.
That's so creepy.
Are we still
This-
talking about
it's fun.
Neptunia?
No,
this
it's
is
like
called Automatus Excellent. It's
Are you
another,
sure? Because it sounds a lot. It sounds exactly like Neptunia.
except it's more like Death Smiles.
yeah,
Okay.
it pretty much is.
It's a lot of fun though. I beat that game quite a few times. I don't think it got very good reviews, and I can kind of see why, but I don't know. I had a lot of fun with it because you can get tons of different like weapons and stuff in that game and like customize it. I had a lot of fun playing that. I don't know.
Huh. Well, yeah, but getting back to the console thing, is like, what didn't this? I think in the end, the Super Nintendo won over the Genesis, right?
Yes.
Easily.
So,
By a
yeah,
lot.
obviously because of 32X and the Sega, because they botched themselves up. But, obviously the Super Nintendo had way more RPGs, even though Sega had a ton of support, a third party. But then the PS1 totally won over the N64 just because, it had way more RPGs.
Well,
And
N64 basically had none.
Yeah, it had it had Quest 64. Huh.
And
But
Wow, that was quick.
and like what was the other console during the PS? It was PS1, N64, and
that was it, wasn't it?
it was just Saturn. Like, but that was barely a thing.
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure during that. Wait, did the Dreamcast out? During,
Oh yeah. There you go.
That came
But then
out later, but
Yeah, but then the Dreamcast didn't even had barely any time to even get RPGs.
it's some,
You know?
it's some pretty good RPGs on there.
well, that's the
though.
funny thing about the
Yeah.
Dreamcast.
The few that it had were good. Like Grandia 2 is amazing. I love
But that was ported over to the PS2 after it failed. And so was Skies of Arcadia, but it was ported over to the GameCube. Oh, that's right. The GameCube has Skies of Arcadia. There you go. That's a port.
It doesn't count.
Let's briefly talk about the Dreamcast because it flopped in the U.S.
Yeah.
hard.
Oh,
It-
yeah.
it
I
flopped
had one. Not my fault. I had one.
Yes. It flopped in the U.S. the way the Xbox flops in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. pretty
And
much.
in Japan, the Dreamcast kept producing games until just a few years ago.
Yeah, it was like,
There's
there was
still-
even a game that
aren't
came
they
out,
still
like,
making games? Do they?
kind of, very lightly,
I mean, there's still
but,
plenty of homebrews coming out.
but there was still, like, really strong releases coming out in 2007 for that console.
Yeah.
Whereas we stopped releasing games in 2002 and 3.
Yeah.
So many good fighting games on the Dreamcast.
So many.
So much fun.
Are you going to mention JoJo?
Yes! JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is my favorite 2D fighting game. I know I said it was Darkstalkers on the Aldrin Gamers podcast, but that's because I forgot about JoJo's.
Ah, that makes sense.
And now I
But-
have to mention your fight with Johnny.
My fight with
Oh.
Do you remember that?
I don't.
Remember how you used to get pissed because you would practice so hard at the game, Johnny would come over and just beat the crap out of you.
Oh yeah, that's when I was like really early, like kind of getting into like really. Like I always liked to play fighting games, but I was like terrible at them.
You practiced for
Okay.
weeks with these games, and to the point where you got pretty good at them, and neither Johnny nor I had been playing them, so we didn't want to play you. You kept bugging us and bugging us and bugging us. Come on, play with me.
I
And then
wanted
Johnny
someone
comes
to play
over.
Street Fighter with me.
And then Johnny comes over, and he's like, "Oh hey, what do these buttons do?"
Oh my god! Do you remember how much I used to rage at Street Fighter 4?
Yes,
And I-
you kept,
Oh,
Super
dude, you
Street Fighter
turned
4.
red.
you raged
Oh
so
my
much
God.
I couldn't sleep, but eventually it became so normal. Like I could sleep with you furious at the TV.
Oh my
yelling
god!
at-
Because like Street Fighter, I got Super Street Fighter. I got Street Fighter 4, and I wasn't that into it. I played a little bit, didn't get very good at it. Then I got Super Street Fighter 4, and I was like hooked on that game for
I
so
remember.
long.
You
But I was
even got
so-
the little arcade thing.
I was so bad at it, and I would try
Yeah,
playing
switch up the
online,
buttons.
and I would just get so fucking rage induced in that game all the
That's
time,
So
all
funny.
the time. I played Jury.
You still have
I-
your arcade pad thing?
Yeah,
Oh,
I,
yeah.
I still have that arcade stick. I use it every once in a while.
You remember that I kept the parts we swapped out?
Oh yeah, you still have those?
Actually, I used them. I helped build a robot with them.
Oh,
Oh, that's kind of neat.
Yeah, I told you I'd do something with them.
I
It took
figured
like
you would.
2 years.
I'm not gonna use them. I changed my buttons out. I mean, I'm a pad player really, but the only reason I didn't switch to stick is because I got so used to pad playing. Because that's how I basically learned how to play the game.
Yeah,
And like
pad.
Chase and like Eric and like all those guys I play with, they're like surprised that I actually use like the D-pad instead of like the joystick on the PlayStation 2 controller to like do my stuff. They're like, I don't know how you do that. But I'm like that's how I learned how to play Street Fighter is using the D-pad actually to play fighting games. So I'm much better with the D-pad than I am with an arcade stick or like the joystick on the PS2 controller.
Yeah, I'm used to using the Gravis gamepad. But no, never mind. That joke didn't go anywhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
because nobody knows what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know. I just realized that. Never mind.
That's like you referencing the Power Fist.
Yeah,
If the Angry Video Game Nerd had never talked about it.
that's kind of the same idea.
But
yeah.
if anybody wants to play me in fighting games, I'm always down. You can always look me up. I want to play fighting games with people. I have every fighting game you can think of right now. I have King of Fighters. I got Street Fighter. I got Blaze Blue. I got Super Cross Tekken. I got Marvel.
Oh God, Blaze
Blue. Let's play fighting games with me.
I went through a long period where, do you know how obsessive like the hardcore Blaze Blue people are? I was one of
Oh my God.
I was one of them for a while. It was terrible. I was trying to figure out how to make the infinite combos looping. Oh God.
Oh man, Blaze Blue's combos are so long.
Yes.
So long.
Platinum the Trinity is the best character in that game by far.
I like Ragnar. I don't know why.
My favorite fighting game is what's that one? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Manhattan Project on the NES.
Yeah, classic fighting game right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it's the only real fighting game for the NES.
Really?
Yeah, that's the only like commercially released straight up fighting, other than like if you're counting like Double Dragon's fighting gimmick.
No.
Well,
I'm not counting that at all.
That was a side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Because you can't even choose your character. If you choose
No,
one
there's
character, and both persons have to be that.
No, it's like Abraham. The second game mode for 2-player on that, you can play either a beat 'em up where you each take turns, like one person dies and then the next person goes.
Marvel style.
But the second version is like a fighting game, like an arena fighting game.
What?
Where you choose like your character, like you have like 4 or 5 characters to choose from, and you choose it, and you're both that character trying to kill each other.
Yeah, you can only play mirror matches in that game.
Why?
Because it's an NES game. They didn't know what they were doing.
Good point.
Yeah.
There was no fighting games.
Yeah, it's true. This is like Karate Champ, you know?
I've been really getting into Blaze Blue, though, lately. Platinum the Trinity and Bang Shishigami are the best characters in the world.
Man, I stay away from Blaze Blue like I stay away from the Plague. I don't want to get into that hard. I don't want to do that again.
That game has a shit ton of story for a fighting game. It's surprising how much story there is in that game.
I know, isn't there?
But
I mean,
I love the character interactions in that game. They're so hilarious.
You got Booby Lady.
Oh, Telkaka.
You know, let's contrast that against another game that has a lot of story. I'm talking, of course, about Tekken.
Oh,
Tekken technically has story, but
it's
it's
funny,
so awful.
That's the only fighting game Johnny will play is Tekken.
I love Tekken.
I'm not surprised.
I love Tekken.
That's because
I kind of like Tekken.
You're a clown and you like to juggle.
Oh my god, shut the hell up.
Oh my
Dude,
god. We fuck with Johnny all the time about Tekken.
Don't even pretend
oh, hey,
there's no...
You want to go to the circus and juggle? Let's play some Tekken.
I hate you so much when you do that.
Don't even pretend that's not a legitimate dig at that game, because it is. That's the most legitimate dig you can possibly make at that game.
It is kind of okay. They do have like kind of juggling thing in that game, but okay, not a lot of people, unless you're really into it, will do it. And also, I mean, like yeah, it's really weird. Okay, it's really like the characters they choose are really strange, but.
Like,
Fair.
I mean,
like the raptor with boxing gloves.
Yeah, that guy was like a character from something else too.
Isn't his name like Steve or something, like completely normal?
Oh no, the raptor.
Yeah,
his name is Gore.
Oh, Gore.
And but they also have like what's his name, Rex or something like that. But they like in Tekken 2 and some of the other ones they have like a kangaroo that boxes and like a raptor that boxes and
they've gone.
They've gone
from that manga.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But
watch them turn into a grognard. Tekken's 1 and 2 were significantly harder than their predecessors because you actually had to try to pull off combos to pull off any sort of special attack, and when they're practically spoon feeding them to you in the future iterations.
That's pretty true.
One thing I'll give Tekken is it has two of what I consider some of the best fighting game characters ever, and that is King and Yoshimitsu.
Man, doesn't Yoshimitsu show up in like 3 fucking games?
Yoshimitsu he's in Soul Calibur, and now he's in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, obviously. But the best thing about him is he gets like a ridiculous new outfit in every game that he's in.
Doesn't he?
I love that.
His story is like really funny because if he like, I think there's this thing where they try to link up all the stories between the games with him. And it's like, oh yeah, he got the money. Like when he wins the tournament, he won all the money for his village, and he went back and gave all the money, and then like later he just decided to fight again. Like, it's funny.
And I like King because he's a Mexican wrestler with a jaguar on his head that only roars.
Yeah. How can you hate that?
That's amazing. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But
You hate
I
Spawn?
love King. King is amazing. I love that character.
He also had his like reskin, which is Armor King,
Oh,
who died.
Armor King.
Dude, that was like the
Oh,
weirdest.
God. That's such a funny story.
Dude, if you guys have ever seen I know you guys probably haven't, but inside of was it Tekken 6, I think?
I haven't played Tekken 6. I think the last time I played was... Which one did you
Tekken
get
6
on
the one with the
PlayStation
fat
2?
dude?
4.
Yeah, last time I played was 4.
Yeah, but like Tekken 6, I'm not even kidding when like they brought back Armor King, right? For it, even though he supposedly died in number 2.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter.
Well, like they brought him back, and like the cutscenes with him, like his story progression is like so weird because when you reach the end, like he's having this big talk with was it Bob or something, someone like that, and they're like, oh, I know I killed you. And he's talking like, you know, regular words like me and you talk. And but King's just like and it's like subtitles.
That's what I love about King, is he's like a person, but he just roars.
And like, but the other guy understands it. He's like, ha, that could not be. He's like, I was like, what is going on in this cutscene?
Oh my god. Great character.
It just cracks me up when I think about that stuff.
Well, I mean, it's like a lot of fighting games do that. Like Street Fighter even did that. They brought back Gouken for Street Fighter 4, and he's supposed to be dead, but no, he was just knocked out. We changed the story.
That's fine.
Retcon equals money.
It's not like Tekken's the first people to do that. Well, I mean, I think they might be.
Well, maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
You know,
Tekken's got
I
some
don't
really
know.
weird fluff.
yeah. Well, I think it's funny that Yoshimitsu has a move where he stabs himself.
Yeah.
Well, what I kind of like Tekken because I like the character. I mean, I'm not a fan of 3D fighters. I'm just I don't know. I'm just not like I don't have anything really against Tekken. Like I can enjoy Tekken. I can play Tekken every once in a while and enjoy it, you know. But
The whole Karya family.
I'm not really into it. But I think the story and the characters are pretty interesting. I mean, it's just so crazy. And I always like games that do like generations, you know, like in the next game, oh, his son is now in the game, and like his son.
I don't like
with Kazuya and Jin and all that stuff.
Yeah, and Heihachi. Incidentally, their story is retarded.
It is pretty ridiculous, but that's why we play Tekken.
Well, it's like it seems like every other game, like
what fighting game doesn't have a fucking ridiculous story?
Oh, I think the kickboxer is the sexy blonde spy's son somehow.
Steve?
Yeah.
Steve's awesome.
He is, but his mom is in the tournament, and she's like 28 and hot.
Nina?
Yes, because she was like cryogenically frozen or something.
Wait,
bullshit like
Nina
that.
is Steve's mom?
Yes, if you actually
they
play
look
through
like they're
both.
the fucking same age.
Yes, hear me out. Here's the official explanation. After she gave birth, she got put into some sort of stasis or cryo sleep, and she got woken up like just for that tournament or some stupid bullshit like that to go kill someone. And yeah,
that's weird. Like, what if he didn't know that was his mom?
That could have very easily gone to very strange places.
Like, I really don't remember that, but that sounds friggin' like so Tekken.
Doesn't it?
I did not know that. Because Steve and Nina are both in Street Fighter Cross Tekken. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, what's funny is I remember seeing Tekken. There's man, what was the name of the place? There's this place when I lived in Irvine that had a Tekken 3 cab.
Oh yeah, Tekken 3.
But I had Tekken 2 for the PS1. So like, I saw this Tekken 3 cab. I was like, it's so cool. Like, and then never got that game for PS1.
I used to play
I wasted a lot of quarters.
I played a lot of Soul Edge in arcade.
Oh yeah, there's a Boys and Girls Club near me that had that.
I had that in a movie theater, and I played the shit out of that. I always picked Siegfried. Siegfried was awesome in that game, to me.
Siegfried is pretty cool. But of course, I play Keelik and Huarang.
Oh, so you're a piece of shit, basically.
I
Anyone
don't
who
really
plays
like
Keelik is a piece of shit. Just saying.
It's pretty cheap.
Keelix or
Yes.
Maxie, you're a piece of shit. 'Cause those characters are fucking bullshit.
You know, funny thing, I don't actually like Huarang. He's got such a weird name.
How do you even say that?
I liked him because he had that invisible sword in like Soul Calibur 2.
Huarang is actually how you say it. It's
Really?
Korean. Yes, it's Korean.
That is so stupid.
That's how you say his
Sounds
name.
dumb.
I'm so disappointed they haven't added Talim in any of the recent games. Talim was my favorite. She's not in any of the games anymore.
Huh. Well, hey, getting back on the subject of RPGs
Wait,
for a
I
second.
want to say one last thing about Soul Calibur.
Sure.
I don't know if it already came out or if it's gonna come out, but the new Soul Calibur broke the tradition. Every game since Soul Edge, Ivy's outfit has been getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller, and her chest has been getting larger and larger and larger in direct proportion to the smallness of her outfit. And in this one, not only does she look the same age, but she's fully clothed.
Oh, boo, boo.
Yeah, she's like 50 years old now.
Oh, come on, man.
Now,
Rocket.
mind you,
Elvira's
They're still trying to go on with the story, and like all these characters are like way old now. So that's why in Soul Calibur 5 they had to like introduce like new characters that were like the same type. Like there's like a character called Natsu, which is just Taki, but like a younger, a new character, like the same thing.
It's like when they introduced like all those people in Third Strike to be like new characters.
Third Strike has the weirdest characters for like a Street Fighter game. I don't know where Remy came from, but he needs to go back to King of Fighters.
Ah, that's pretty true.
Wait, Remy. That name, I don't remember who it is.
The white-haired guy.
He had green hair. He had turquoise hair.
Wait, I never remember.
Yeah.
I play Third Strike. I know this.
Yeah,
I'm
true.
sure he has an alternate color where he has white hair. I don't know. I don't play Remy because I don't like Guile type characters.
Huh. Well, yeah. Get back on the subject of RPGs. I kind of want to talk about how there's like not any RPGs on consoles anymore.
Well, that's not true.
Well, I'm talking about like this. Remember how prominent they were? They were prominent from the PS1, even the Super Nintendo. To a lesser extent.
Times are changing. RPGs are not popular anymore.
They're just not.
Not to the mainstream, at least.
Remember how popular they were on PS2?
They have a lot of
there's
a lot of releases on
great
that.
RPGs on PS2, but PS3 is pretty I mean, there's some good ones out there, but not even close to the PS2 or even the PS1.
Well, that's because they're all on handheld these days.
Yep.
Almost any good RPG that's come out a few years ago.
Even on handheld, they're getting more and more scarce, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, you just look at my DS library. It's like I have the Sonic Mega Collection, and then I have the 3 Dragon Quest. I have Dragon Quest 4, 5, 6, 9, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 4 and 3. It's like and Radiant Historia, but that's just where they are.
Radiant Historia is amazing.
It is.
It's like
that's the best RPG I've played on DS.
Dude, it's amazing.
That game blew me away. I love time travel in a really fun way.
I despise time travel. Furious.
I love it.
I can't articulate how much I hate time travel, but I really like Historia. So that says something.
Man, that is.
I don't know. I just love time travel stories. I think it's fun.
I just like, man, it seemed like there were just so many RPGs you could just run across on the PS2 and PS1, just kind of like, even lesser known, you could just, check it out, or even if there wasn't like a big Final Fantasy release or something like that, you could check out one of the smaller ones, it didn't have to be like a Final Fantasy, it could be like a Lunar, which is like a 2D game, or, it could be like a Legend of Mana.
Or it could be Okage.
It could be Okage.
Okage is cool.
Yeah.
That's a good example of like
it's a short, kind of easy RPG, but it's a lot of fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like how Satan is constantly being thought of. I was like, oh hey, this kid does really neat trick with a shadow. And Satan's just like, I hate you.
You know what RPG I really want to see another of that was like really good on PS2?
What?
Shadow Hearts.
Oh, that's a good one.
Like I love Shadow Hearts. That is one of the quirkiest RPGs I've. Not the first two. The From the New World is really quirky and like
Covenant.
weird, whereas the other two are way darker and kind of more serious.
Covenant and the Living Doll.
Covenant is actually pretty quirky too. Now that I think about it, it has that guy with the butterfly mask and everything.
And of course, have to talk to the gay tailor to get him to make fabulous little dresses for a Living Doll. And yes, I am quoting Penny Arcade here.
No.
But it's an actual thing.
The world has the weirdest cast of characters I think in existence. It has a 70-year-old ninja who uses a giant fish as a sword. It has two Native Americans, one of which uses something called gun fu, which is kung fu combined with using guns.
That's actually not all that original. That's pretty much a John Woo.
A mariachi singer.
Equilibrium thing.
Shut up. As a mariachi singer, it has a vampire that gets super fat when it drinks blood.
Wow, that is kind of weird. Oh, and also another series I want to mention really quick, like instead of being like a main one, was Wild Arms and Suikoden.
I like Wild Arms a lot, and Suikoden, I like that too.
Remember you watched me play that for like 300 hours?
What about Wild Arms 4?
Wild Arms? Oh, shut up. And what about Suikoden 4 too? Like, which one is that? I think
Suikoden 4 is the one with the Rune of Punishment and the dude with the short shorts.
That's the one. Is that the one with the ships?
Yes, that's the one with the ship.
Oh God.
Oh, that one's terrible.
So bad. I have that.
I have Suikoden 3, which is
that's my favorite. Well, nah, I would say Suikoden. Yeah, okay, yeah, it's my favorite one ever.
Out of all my complaints about Suikoden 4, and there's a lot, mind you, a lot.
Yeah.
Oh,
my biggest complaint. Well, there's two things. One is the main character's terrible expressionless face all the time. That's one. And the other is his short shorts.
Well, my biggest problem is the balance in that game is broken. The game is just straight up broken in the way it balances like the game. It goes from like, oh, super easy battle to ridiculously hard end of times boss.
Well, if you get the right combination, what I found that breaks difficulty over its knee was getting Snow, or whatever the fuck his name was, in your party, because your combo attack with him does loads more damage than any basic attack that anyone does. You get some high runes on your characters, and it becomes a walk in the park, really. It's a little bit like the Shin Megami Tensei games, in that once you have the right party set up, you're unbeatable.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of how Suikoden is. Yeah. But yeah, like, there's just not those series, like, they just kind of continued, or like Breath of Fire. Breath of Fire just continued, and Final Fantasy obviously continued, and Dragon Quest continued, but like, we're just not seeing those kind of games on consoles anymore. I mean, Final Fantasy.
It's just not what's selling now. All that sells is like first-person shooters. It's like we're just in that age where that's what's selling now. So that's what everybody's trying to emulate,
Yeah.
And eventually, that's gonna end, and we're gonna move on to, I don't know, let's say puzzle games. But wait.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening until they bring Phoenix Wright Investigations 2 here. I want that game.
Didn't they make a latent Phoenix Wright crossover?
Yes, but that's still, I don't know if that's confirmed that's coming here yet. It's gonna be on the 3DS. If that doesn't come here, I'm literally gonna blow my brains out, because that sounds like the best game in existence to me.
Doesn't that sound really cool?
I love Professor Layton and I love Phoenix Wright to death. I adore those games.
Professor Layton is pretty cool, but I don't like that to do anything, everyone asks me to do their fucking math homework.
I even like the Professor Layton ripoff that came on 3DS called Dr. Lautrec.
Yeah.
I highly, highly, highly suggest that game. It is a lot of fun. It's like Professor Layton combined with an RPG and has like platforming / stealth kind of elements to it. It's a really great game. The story is kind of it's not that interesting, and it goes by really quick. The characters are kind of too. Lautrec's cool because he's just like an asshole, Like he just didn't care about anything but himself, really.
Yes,
Which
this game sounds amazing.
Which I like in a main character. But the gameplay elements of it are really awesome, and I kind of like what they did with the world because it takes place in France. Like, yeah, it's like how many fucking games take place in France? Like Renaissance France or whatever.
Sly Cooper.
Yeah. Okay, shut up. But I like that setting because what's cool about it is they actually made France in it. You can go to anywhere, like all the landmarks that are there at the time. You can. The Eiffel Tower's just being built during that time.
Oh, nice.
So it's got a cool atmosphere. The music's not bad. I think it's a 3DS game that not a lot of people have looked at, and I highly recommend it. Dr.
Well, hey, one thing I want to say about RPGs or like newer consoles with the kind of games, it's like, yeah, obviously with with touch devices we're moving more towards puzzle games, and being in the main cult. Everyone plays puzzle games now.
It's really easy to make a puzzle game like that uses touch controls and stuff.
Yeah, make some diamond shapes, throw in some. Make a line of 5. There you go.
I love puzzle games,
Yeah, but the one thing that really blows me away is, as you guys know, I got way into PC gaming.
I did too, in a way.
Yeah, for like a long time, and I just kind of when the GameCube and PS2 and kind of the end of, obviously other than like Chrono Cross or something like that, but I got way into more PC gaming. Is that we're seeing more of those kind of like, obviously Diablo or like, kind of like how Elder Scrolls and all that stuff, it moved toward the consoles.
Yeah, it's really true.
It's crazy because, like, the thing I always associated with kind of consoles was like those JRPGs, because I can't even really name a JRPG that's on PC other than like a little independent homebrew kind of stuff.
Rance Quest.
What is it called?
Rance Quest.
Rance. Oh.
Oh my god, that game actually has a lot of good gameplay in it. Like you can take out all the porno throw in that game, and it would still be a fucking fantastic game. I'm just saying. I mean, the porno is really nice. It's great.
Rance had a child.
Wait, what?
Yes.
In the newest one?
Yes. You see his.
Oh, I haven't played that one yet. Does that rape everything too?
So
seeing as how I don't want to, like, probably a lot of people don't know what we're talking about, and I would prefer that they don't.
Rants?
Which
come on, Sengoku Rants is awesome. That game's.
Did you ever get all the endings to that? Because I did.
Oh my god, no. Oh my god, I got fucked so hard when the demon army came.
Oh god, it's pretty brutal. I found out.
Oh my god, I got
the only way to beat
raped at that part.
The only way to beat a lot of these parts is you have to plan out your entire strategy from like day one.
You really need to know what you're doing, or you get fucked in that game.
Yes.
Well.
You know which route's actually the easiest? The Kenshin route. Because funny thing, I discovered that my usual strategy of conquering certain countries because I get certain characters that I think are awesome, pretty much meant that I was bound to win. I picked the way it works is like a little tourney style thing. You get Kenshin, she gets knocked down back to level like 1, then you got to build her back up. She's gonna go beat up some dudes, very specific dudes. I collect 4 out of the 5 dudes. She's got four dudes she's got to beat up. She's only got to beat up 5 dudes total. So I can't fuck that up.
Go ahead.
And then once you beat up the 5th dude, you get like all the legendary items. You get like the Emperor Sword, the Emperor Ring, and some other thing. And you can just use her to literally make a vassal out of any country. You go, you, mine. And you just explode all over the map. And then it just becomes an exercise in laughing at the enemy.
I think we should explain a little bit of what Sengoku Rants is, because I don't think a lot of people know what that game is.
No, I don't think so either.
I can explain this without the porn.
Okay.
It's a porn game, people. It's a porn game, but it has really great gameplay to go with it.
Which is weird.
And it's really funny.
Yes, it is hilarious. Here's the basic concept of Sengoku Rants for those fortunate enough to not have heard of it. You're basically playing from the perspective of a rapist. Yes, a rapist who's been given control.
A lovable rapist warrior.
That's just like that first sentence. That's like 3 words into this. Lovable rapist army guy. You know,
I was trying to avoid going there just yet and describe.
His main character trait is that he is a rapist. Like, there's no way of getting around that.
Yes, I was going to try to describe the gameplay, not the characters. But
you gotta play this game to see this shit.
Right.
But
I'm just going to go to the gameplay really
Yeah,
quickly, and then we go back to
that.
talk about rants. If you can imagine a game where you play on some island territory, and you have to take over all the other little city-states, motherfucking all of them, expand, and take the fucker over. That's pretty much the meta game. Oh, and there's brutal resource management.
Holy
It is
shit.
unforgiving resource management.
Yeah, if you don't do it perfect, you're fucked.
Yes.
That's
if you do it right, then you
that's
get
the
fucked.
gameplay.
all I wanted was the chick from that one nation where all the rifles came from.
Dude, she is badass. She's got
That's the only character I wanted.
she's got like a 50% chance of killing a dude if she hits.
I know, she was awesome.
Yes, and if you get her this one ring, she gets an extra attack per fight. So which means she can take out 2 really tough priority targets.
I also liked a lot of the monster evil characters.
You know, I actually never invaded the top right corner.
Really?
Yes.
I never did.
mostly because
I never did either, but they were.
I never did either because I saw they had like 8 territories.
Oh yeah. I remember
each.
them being really strong.
I was like, no, don't wanna.
I like the thing about the game is I like a lot of the art in it. I think the art's really good.
Yes. Oh,
Like, I love the character designs in this game too.
yes. You know, as Normandy, I figured out how to get the Ran route, and I figured out why I can never get it. Here's how that works. You have to capture Ran during a fight, and there is an infinitesimally small chance you'll actually do it. And you have to do it before there's just one scene. So you pretty much have to expand that way since the beginning of the game. That's the only way to do it. Yeah,
But
it sucks.
there's Sengoku Rounds. It's a PC game. Go look it up. There's translation patches for it. It's a
I'm
lot
pretty
of
sure
fun. But
There's no porn patch.
there's porno in it. There is straight up boning in it. There's nudist sex scenes. So if you're under 18, don't play this because it's illegal.
Well, we're all way past that. So.
I'm just saying.
Like,
just saying.
This.
It's a lot of fun though. It's a lot of fun.
So it goes on your guys. I've never really played it, but if it goes on your guys' recommendation, I'm sure it's somewhat fun. I'm sure it's rape-tastic.
Cheers to Tiara is another game in the porno RPG
Okay,
genre.
well, so let's just talk about like how they're not on consoles anymore.
Okay. so Tears to Tiara.
Oh my god.
This is a game you could take the porn out of, and you know what? You don't end up with a good game. What you end up is a game you can literally have play itself. Hit the spacebar, speed it up, and just watch things happen.
Okay.
Unless you play it on ultra hard mode, then you're some sort of.
So as I was saying.
They're no longer on console, motherfucker.
So as I was saying.
They're on PC.
Let's move on.
As I was saying.
Dr. Sanders.
All right. So yeah.
The pickles.
But don't you guys think it's weird that like now we're getting like I think it's because there's so many stupid buttons on controllers nowadays that we can put all these classic Western, in quote Western style RPGs onto consoles now, but we weren't really doing that like last generation.
I don't know. About
I mean, like,
that. Like,
I guess
Baldur's Gate and stuff. Those were really popular.
Yeah, but were those on console?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
they
really?
were.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
Oh well, there you go. But
and Bard's Tale. Do you remember that game?
yes, I remember that game.
The game's awesome.
Dude, Bard's Tale's the shit.
Yeah.
I think it's weird that like now there's so many kind of Western style RPGs that I so associated with PC back in the day. Like Diablo and all. Well,
yeah.
I keep saying
I know
Diablo,
what
but
you
it's not on PC. But like all those kind of games.
I mean Diablo's not on PC.
No, I mean it's not on consoles.
Oh yeah.
But like, I mean, so many of those kind of games I used to play on PC, and I used to think, this, it'd be so hard to do this on consoles, and they just do them on consoles nowadays. Like, all those like Skyrim and all that kind of stuff. I always found that so weird that we're moving way more towards like Dungeons and Dragons again in America and farther away from, anime kind of
Well, it's like
RPGs.
Oblivion just like blew the lid off that. Like
Ah, that's true.
everyone got so obsessed with Oblivion, you know.
Yeah, you could say that it threw their lives into oblivion.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
got Jerry Seinfeld in here.
Hey, Newman.
Oblivion, what's up with that?
It's like a game and it ruined your life.
And then they made Skyrim to ruin it even further.
You see this new Skyrim they got out here? No. It goes over my head all the way to the sky.
But
Yeah, so, I don't know. I kind of wish that they would do more stuff on consoles. Yeah, okay, the portable titles are working for me, you know what I mean? I love Dragon Quest. Maybe Dragon Quest 9 didn't have to rely so much on multiplayer. That was a little bit of a disappointment, but, like, I just wish that, like, Ni no Kuni, that it's coming out.
Oh, I cannot wait for that game.
Yeah,
So
that's like
not wait. It's supposed to be like the best RPG in PlayStation 3.
exactly.
Cannot
So
wait for that game.
that's just like something I wanted the entire time that the PS3's been out. And yeah, there's kind of smaller ones, but there's nothing like those big, AAA titles that were on the PS1, PS2, and all that.
No, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they're just I don't know what was with the PS3. I don't know. There's just not a lot of RPG. I mean, there are some good ones on there, but I wouldn't say there's anything that's like maybe super fantastic. Like, I mean, let me see what I got here, because I mean, as far as RPGs go, I mean, I got Tales of Grace's F, which is good. I mean, but
Yeah.
that just
Well, that was
came
a
out.
Wii.
That just came out this year.
And that was a Wii title before.
Well, yeah, only in Japan.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, that was just...
Yeah, but I mean, I think Nier is probably one of the best RPGs I think on there.
You play the Japanese
It's
version?
not a traditional RPG. It's action, but it's a lot of fun, and it's got a great story, a really good story.
You played Nier Gestalt? That's the Japanese version.
Is that the one that has like the anime guy as the main character instead?
Yes, that's the original. Incidentally, Nier is actually the sequel to Drakengard. To the second Drakengard.
No way.
Yes. Do you remember the troll?
No.
Yes. Have
How?
you seen
How are those related?
Let me tell you. Have either of you two seen the Drakengard 2 troll ending?
All I know
No,
is
I mean,
Yeah.
no wait. The Drakengard 1 troll ending, I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
No,
about.
I just know those games sucked. I did not like those
Cody?
games at all.
Drakengard 1. Did you experience it?
Yes, I played it. I didn't like it. I thought it was boring.
But anyway, moving on. I guess this is for Donnie. Do you remember how Angelus sort of just dies impaled on Tokyo Tower?
Yeah, I totally remember that.
That caused the sickness.
What?
Yes.
No. Okay, you just ruined Nier for me. I'm sorry.
Yes.
That's
funny
fucking
thing.
Stupid. That's fucking stupid. I'm so pissed right now.
The director of Nier is largely the reason the Drakengard 1 was so intensely fucked up.
I don't want these games to be connected.
Yeah, so you could say that Nier is the proper sequel to Drakengard, or you could make the argument that Drakengard 2 is because it got the motherfucking name on it.
That's so weird.
Nier was so awesome. It was like it's basically like half shmup, half action RPG. I love that game, but now that I know it's related to Drakengard, I'm gonna go burn it.
I remember me and Abraham, Mr. Ham, we're playing a Drakengard, like, God, would you find that or something like that? I was like, let's play this. And we ended up playing it, like, all night.
Yes, Drakengard is possibly one of the most intensely fucked up games.
It is.
I've
It's
ever
like
had the pleasure of experiencing.
It's like the best terrible game ever.
Yes.
I don't know how. Like, it's so good in so many ways, but it's like really bad in a lot of ways too.
I honestly can't say I can't pick out a single story element that I can say this is a good thing. I don't necessarily mean from an error point of view. I mean everything that happens to anyone is terrible. It's just a long cavalcade of tragedy and buttfuck.
It's so funny. I never knew that those games were connected though.
Did you play? Have you ever played Resonance of what's that?
Fate.
Resident
I have
Fate.
it. Yes,
yeah.
I have it. I have Residence of Fate.
That's
I beat
that's
that
a
one.
really good RPG on the PlayStation 3.
Yes, Residence of Fate reminds me slightly of Devil May Cry because it is obsessed with style.
Yeah, I can kind of see that comparison right there.
Yes, and it's not just dressing up all of your characters, which I do too much of, by the way.
Yeah, I know, right?
I have all of their outfits set up.
I know what you mean.
I went and hunted down all the all the clothing, and anyway.
System is a lot of fun in that game.
Yes, and that's actually most of why I say it's obsessed with style because it's mostly planning out all your hero attack routes and when you're going to bounce a dude, when you're going to attack. You never just use a plain attack. The game turns into
You gotta flip 50 feet in the air for 5 hours and shoot them.
shoot like a million times.
Yeah.
And
then throw a grenade. You know.
But if you're a clever person, you equip 2 characters with machine guns, and then everything becomes a walk in the park.
Yeah, just get that whatever type of damage, scratch damage.
Yes, apply massive scratch damage, and then have like the blonde chick come in and just pop.
There you go, boom chakalaka.
Yes. The story was not
as
I would expect it.
Yeah, the story is pretty weak in that game, but I kind of feel like the gameplay makes up for it because it's a lot of fun.
Yes, and I like the characters surprisingly.
Yeah, the characters are goofy and fun.
Yeah.
The story's pretty weak, unfortunately.
Huh. Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, it's only that game.
Everybody said it was kind of disappointing because of that.
Yeah, but like the gameplay is a lot of fun. I like the map system where you kind of like.
Yeah,
like,
that was pretty cool. Although
yeah,
I remember trying to connect my no fight map thing to like all the maps, so I could just walk on that and never get into any random fights.
That's funny that you can do that.
Yes, it is really challenging because you can't actually put them all on maps. You can put them on most of the maps, like in the lower levels, which is where I really don't want to fight people.
Now, I want to bring a game up that isn't necessarily an RPG, but I feel like it's an extremely looked over game for the PS3, and that's Majin and the Forsaken Kingdom.
Oh, that game. Yeah, I totally think that too.
I think that game went under everyone's radar, and it's a really good game. I had
the one
a lot
with
of
like the big ass brown bear.
Yeah, like the game does. Like the AI in that game is pretty good for like a partner kind of AI thing, I think. And it's fun, it's colorful, the puzzles are cool. I just feel like that's such an underrated game. Like I wish more people played that game.
I wish more people played Odin Sphere, but whatever.
Oh, did you know that new game that's coming out, Dragon's Crown? Did you see that shit? With
I don't play shit out of that.
Like the super triple D tits in that game. Oh my god!
Yes. I know. Like, I mean, you got your huge gigantic pauldron knight, dude.
Clothes on. They have like no clothes on, and their tits are massive.
One of them has no clothes on. The other one has some clothes on.
Yeah, her tits are still bigger than her fucking head, though.
Yeah. Yes. It's sort of weird. It seems like a side-scrolling thing that's sort of evocative of, let's say, Golden Axe because of the style. But it's definitely going to...
It's a beat-em-up, right?
I think it's a beat-em-up RPG.
I think it's supposed to be. It's been delayed so much.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be like, say, Odin Sphere or whatever the hell that the one that came out for the Wii.
Grim
Guar?
No.
No, the one for the Wii. It's
It's something with ninjas.
Oh,
yeah,
Masa. I have that.
Yeah, Masahiro.
Muramasa, the Demon Blade. Yeah.
There you go. That's
that game's awesome.
It's probably going to be like those two. Definitely that sort of play style.
Well, what I think is
those games so fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, a game that I think is totally underrated. I think more people should pick it up. It's
Battletoads.
The Dragons.
No, it's Magical Orange Road.
I agree.
No, I actually didn't see
Highly
that.
underrated.
Highly underrated.
Yes. Fantastic story.
It's extremely rare.
That story blows me away every time. I'm like, wow.
the beta build, like there's just a beta build floating around, you know?
I already
Like-
gave the beta build a 10 out of 10.
Those copies go for like $1 billion.
I've seen it. It's on Amazon. Look it up.
Yep, it's on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's also on Craigslist. Play Lives knows what I'm talking about. It's like, remember that? Oh my gosh, Abraham, you know how retro games, like people are charging more for retro games now?
Yes.
Play Lives is this guy who we're kind of friends with. He watches the show. He does his own YouTube show, which is really cool. But
I like Play Lives.
yeah, he did this video on some person who was trying to sell Super Mario Land 2 for the Game Boy for like $375 because they looked it up on Amazon and that's what it said it was worth.
Wow.
Because they were like no, it was like, you know, those
That's
are for like,
that's like a $5 game on a good day.
yeah, you know how like that's only for when it's sealed, you know, like mint condition box.
Just the cart.
Yeah, she's like, oh no, he didn't play it that much. So it's worth $375. Didn't play it that much.
This is the problem with like.
I need something really colorful way to express my hatred right now, but I can't.
The people just they go on Amazon, they see the first price that's on there, which is always the highest one, and there's like, oh, that must be what the game is worth.
Yeah, that's like there was this guy who was selling like a few N64 games here in Orange County, and like for GoldenEye, he was charging like said $120. He said like prices got from Amazon, and so it's like these are all cart only, you know, like, you know, they've been played a lot.
They're charging basically like new prices for these used games that have nothing. That's just like the cart.
That just irritates the heck out of me.
Because like even those games sealed, brand new, don't go for that price sometimes. You know.
That's true. Like
mint condition, they don't even go for that much.
It's so ridiculous. Like, it just blows me away that people could even think that.
I'm surprised people don't do more research than like just like one look at the page, you know?
Well, you know, those people aren't like super internet people who even think that kind of stuff.
It's not that hard to click on the thing and look at what everyone else is selling for.
Captain Goal, it's just so hard on the internet. There's like all those words on the keyboard.
Well, it's like the people, even on Amazon, there's people who are like, they'll throw a game up on there, it'll be cart only, $60, and then someone else puts on there for 30. It's like, okay, I wonder which one's gonna get sold, you know?
Yeah, well, that's like, we just looked up Musha. Somebody was charging $150 for a copy of Musha with, they said, has the big Sharpie lettered R on the label, but other than that, it's fine.
Well,
and
Musha is fucking amazing and fucking rare.
Well, then they had like another
But
one
yeah.
which is $260. It was just the card.
See, that's why I didn't buy my copy of Musha on Amazon. I went to eBay and I got a fantastic deal on that game.
How much you paid for it?
110, but no, that's actually a really good deal for that game.
No, but
I got a reproduction box for it, but I got the manual. I got the actual manual for it.
Oh,
It's pretty beat up, but I still got the manual.
Yes,
and it also
that's
came
really important.
It came with 10 other Genesis games.
it came with Gunstar Heroes.
Yeah, Gunstar Heroes. That's already like,
Cool.
yeah.
But did it come with Ninja Baseball Batman?
I wish.
Oh,
I wish.
I wish there was a port of that for something.
Only half of the game, like about half of the games it came with were really shitty. Like that flying sim game that came with it.
Yeah.
That game was.
I have
terrible.
Ninja Baseball Batman for the Dreamcast.
Oh, what? Why have we not played that ever?
Because it runs terribly.
That sucks. It's
Yeah,
not. It's not on Action 100.
No, it's not an Action 100.
Man, that sucks.
It's like
Action 100 is awesome.
I know. It's like yeah, it's like every arcade
that's how
game ever.
That's how we played Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Yeah, if you guys have seen our review of Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, we played it on this Dreamcast. There's like, okay, for those of you who don't know, the Dreamcast has like the most active like homebrew on a console ever.
It's
Because-
there's no protection.
Yeah, there's no protection. So like say I coded the Slime TV Magical Orange Road game, you know, for a Dreamcast. I could just give you the ISO, you burn it, and you can play it on the Dreamcast. And no, I'm not going to do that.
I've never done that.
No, I don't know how to do that yet. I'm not good with Dreamcast stuff. But like, there's so many games that come out for there, and the way we played it was through this like, there's just tons of arcade games put onto one disc, and so we like
It's way
played.
more than 100, but
Way more.
I wrote like when we have CDs, either one of us will write on, with a Sharpie, and I'm just like, what do we call this? I'm gonna call Action 100 like Action 52. It has well over 100 games on it though.
Oh, easily.
Most of them, it's cool because most of them are like arcade arcade versions of games like you couldn't normally play.
Yeah, like Life Force and stuff.
And like we played Captain Commando on there.
Yeah.
And King of Dragons.
That game's fun.
King of Dragons is fucking awesome. That game's so sick. It's like a beat 'em up, and you like upgrade your weapons and shit in it. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
I remember I was the cleric and you were the warrior, I think.
Yeah.
I wanted to be the cleric because he had like a mace, and I'm like, I just want to beat people.
No, do you remember every single time that like I was like the dwarf kind of warrior guy?
Yeah.
And every time we started the level, you get upgrades for your weapon. I was like, this be the sword of my father.
Oh my god, yeah, that's right. I totally remember.
This is my father's sword.
My father's sword.
That was so funny.
That was a lot of fun. King of Dragons is awesome. That's a really fun beat 'em up.
Yeah. Anything else you guys want to say about RPGs and like JRPGs and what's happened?
Do we want to talk about any RPG? Let's just talk about some RPGs we're playing right now.
Okay.
Real quick.
Sure.
What are you playing?
Captain Goyle.
Okay, I'll go first. Well, a couple days ago, I really had a hankering to play some Dot Hack, so I've been playing some Dot Hack Infection. But the other day, I got the new Atlayer game, Atlayer Mameru, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. I've always loved the Atlayer games, like especially on the PS2. The PS2 has some the Atlayer games on there are really fun. I like those games a lot because your main character isn't like a warrior or like like a wizard or like a knight.
Is it a lolly?
It's okay, not in the older ones. In the new ones, yes. But you're always an alchemist, which I thought was kind of cool because you always make your own items and stuff. You don't get you don't get skills or anything really. You can like make bombs and healing items, and I thought that was kind of cool, because it's different than a lot of the other RPGs.
Different.
Yeah, but I'm playing Atlayer Mameru right now, and it's the best one out of all the three. That's kind of what I've been. Obviously, I was on a huge Persona 4 bender a few weeks ago. I was playing that like day and night again. Persona 4 is my favorite RPG. It's my favorite game of all time. And I replay that game all the time. So, yeah, that's kind of the RPGs I've been playing lately.
Yeah, well, I've been playing Dragon Quest V. I just got that recently for my birthday.
We are planning to do a review on that. So.
Yeah, Dragon Quest V. We're planning on doing one where it's where we kind of compare the NES one, with the Super Nintendo one and the DS one. Is that right now? So I'm playing that a little bit, but I've kind of been going back to Final Fantasies for the PS1 a little bit lately, because I kind of been playing 8 a little bit. I don't know. I'm not getting into it as much as I used to. I don't know what it is, but. Obviously, the Junction.
8's kind of hard to get into again.
It is.
I've been trying to play Legend of Dragoon also, but 8's kind of hard to get into.
Yeah, I found it harder to get into this. I don't know what it is, but I find the characters interesting, but the battle system kind of I kind of tolerated it before.
Yeah.
But now it's waning on me a little bit. Just because there's so much to it, and some of it doesn't work as well.
That's really what drags that game down, unfortunately.
Yeah. And keep in mind, I'm a big supporter of the Final Fantasies. People give 8 a lot more crap than that. People say like, oh, it's completely ruined by that. It's just, I'll just say that like, you have to be. It's a hard game to come back to.
Yeah.
Like
definitely.
Final Fantasy 7 isn't really a hard game to come back to. Final Fantasy 4 isn't. Maybe 6 kind of is, but
9, 10,
like you can kind of jump back into those.
Yeah.
8, you just can't do it. It's like not only is the story kind of complex, but the battle system. If you don't remember what junctions you have or what all this kind of stuff, it's really hard to get back into it.
Yeah. Surprisingly.
So
I agree.
Yeah, it's kind of what I've been playing. I've been playing The Sims a lot too, so. That's an RPG.
Sure, why not?
You get to build up your character. It's like Zelda.
Yes, stats and stuff, I guess.
Yeah, I'm getting up to level 19.
There's
with
just
my
no,
with my doctor.
There's no conflict per se.
There's tons of conflict. My wife was very mad at me.
Yeah, I peed my pants and I'm going insane in the membrane. All right,
Nice.
Mr. Ham, what RPGs have you been playing lately?
Well, let's see. My TV broke recently, so I'm not playing a lot of console RPGs. Before it broke, I was finishing up Residence of Fate and playing both of my Record of Agrospore games. Because Record of Agrospore 1 has the true ending that is incredibly long and difficult to get.
Which one did I buy? I bought one that came out kind of recently. I'm trying to remember which one it was.
That would be Record of Agrospore 0.
Yeah, I got that one. I have that one.
I was enjoying the crap out of that, and my TV broke, which meant back to PC gaming, and
Nice.
which meant only one thing and only one thing: porno games.
Yeah.
Which meant that I was recently playing Alchemy Meister, the God Captor, which is another one of those games where you have to make all of your fucking gear. And you go around collecting ingredients, maintaining a shop, sexing up monster girls, fighting other monsters that aren't as sexy, so they don't deserve the time of day.
Nice.
Yes. It's really fun, surprisingly complex, and there's a lot of post-game crap you can get into. I'm not sure I want to because it requires me to level beyond what I'm prepared to invest in this game.
It's sometimes surprising how much those hentai games actually have good gameplays. Like the ones that are like RPGs. It's I love Sengoku Rants. That's great gameplay. You could take out all the porno in that game and it'd still be great.
It would.
But I mean, you can just leave it in. That's okay. No,
I mean, it's got to be there because then Rants isn't Rants anymore if he's not having sex. That's his whole life. All he wants to do is fuck. That's it. He has no other ambitions besides fucking everything that lives.
Who would ever be like that?
Every man alive?
Oh my god, you're so sexist.
I think John is alluding to himself.
Oh my god.
I mean, there's some other things I like to do. I mean, I like...
Oh, really? Really, Donnie? Are there?
All
right. Let's wrap this up.
All right. Just in a quick summary, I also want to say Sonic 4 Episode 2 came out. That I'm disappointed. So we'll talk about that later. But man.
There you go.
So, all right. I am Dr. Sanders.
Captain Goyle.
And I'm Mr. Ham.
And this has been episode 4 of SlimeWire. All right, bye.
You're off the wire.
Goodbye.
See ya.
I still have that photo of you in my wallet. I don't know